Jets Nation, Aaron Rodgers wants to be a New York Jet. On the Pat McAfee Show, he just got off the Pat McAfee Show. I literally just finished my live stream for 2.5 hours of my live reaction to the Pat McAfee Show, but I thought it would be necessary to give you guys my thoughts of this news in a video format because this is big. Now, the trade hasn't officially happened yet, and the Jets and the Packers are still working things out. We saw a report from Schefter this morning that seems to be false, that the Packers want 2 first-round picks. Tom Pelissero tweeted earlier that that's not true, and that the Jets and the Packers are still figuring out the trade. It's not agreed upon, but the Packers are not looking for a first-round pick. But this is good freaking news because we heard for the first time that Aaron Rodgers wants to play for the Jets. And my theory has been proving true, and this theory has not been from any sources. I don't have any sources. I don't claim to have sources. This has just been my theory this whole time, and that theory was that the Jets knew Aaron Rodgers' decision because, remember, all we've been hearing these past few days from Connor Hughes, all the New York beat team, and the NFL media beat team like Schefter and all these guys is what? That he's still thinking about retiring or playing, and that's false. Rodgers made up his mind on Friday. He told the Jets he intends to play football and he intends to play for the New York Jets since Friday. So shout out to Trey Wingo. He was on this report early on. My theory was that all these reporters have been calling the Jets to get an inside scoop on this story, and they're lying to their faces. And that's exactly what they did because the truth was Rodgers made his mind up Friday. But they knew this was a delicate situation with Aaron Rodgers. They did not want this story to go public yet. They wanted to keep everything tight. So give Joe Douglas, Robert Saleh, and the entire Jets organization a lot of credit for allowing Aaron Rodgers to announce it on his own terms because we know that Rodgers has a little personal relationship with the media, and he wanted to announce it in his own terms on the Pat McAfee Show. So that's great on that perspective. And I also want to say this. This is a big-time thing and a big-time time in history for the New York Jets organization. And you got to give Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh and Woody Johnson credit for getting Aaron Rodgers and trusting their, pitch to tell Aaron Rodgers to come here. Because my point is, the job that Joe Douglas has done since he got here to build a roster the way he has, to make this an attractable destination, he deserves credit for that. Because if it was not for Joe Douglas, and listen, I know Joe Douglas is not perfect. He's made mistakes. He obviously has not been able to draft a quarterback, which is why we're getting Aaron Rodgers in the first place. But for him to go out there and get Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, all these players on this team that have a top 5 defense last year with Robert Saleh, Aaron Rodgers would never consider coming to the New York Jets if it wasn't for the development of this team and the structure of this organization and the personnel. So you got to give credit to the front office. You got to give credit for Robert Saleh as well. They hired Nathaniel Hackett, and you heard Aaron Rodgers say that Nathaniel Hackett was a big reason why he chose to come to the Jets, and he had nothing but positive things. He was defending Nathaniel Hackett so much on the Pat McAfee Show to the point where he was offended by what Pat McAfee was saying about Nathaniel Hackett, saying that all these positive things about Hackett, blah, blah, blah. So that's good news there. So the fact that Aaron Rodgers wants to come to the New York Jets, guys, we're on top of the world right now. Now, I know we got to wait until the trade happens and figure out what the compensation is, and that's going to be the next storyline. When's the trade going to happen? How many picks do we have to give up? What players are going to the Packers in return? I get all that. But what we heard is confirmation because all we were doing is just, figuring out, trying to dig deep into the stories. Okay, we signed Allen Lazard. Okay, we're hearing rumors that Rodgers is recruiting players to the Jets. Okay, seems like he's not retiring. Seems like he wants to play for the Jets, but we don't know yet because we still hear from people like Connor Hughes and Rich Cimini and all these people like, oh, Rodgers is still contemplating retiring. No, that was never a thing. Rodgers wants to play for the New York Jets, and now he is just waiting for it to happen. Now, let's just visualize Aaron Rodgers and the Jets real quick with Garrett Wilson, with Allen Lazard, with Elijah Moore, with Breece Hall coming back, with Michael Carter, with Uzama, with Conklin, with Ruckert, with Mekhi Becton being slimmed down, hopefully healthy, with the offensive line adding more talent, with Elijah Vera Tucker being healthy, with the top 5 defense coming back, hopefully going to be better next year. This team is ready to go. We are a contender in the AFC with Aaron Rodgers. I can say that with freaking confidence, baby. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section of the news of Aaron Rodgers saying on the Pat McAfee Show that he wants to come to the Jets because this is gigantic news, and now we sit and wait for the final word of the Jets and the Packers agreeing on a trade compensation for it to become official. Jets fans, this is an historic day. Hit that thumbs up button for your boy. Subscribe if you're new. And let's go Jets. Woo! I'm pumped up. Jets, Jets, Jets. Yes, sir!